Well, welcome to another day of I Am My Biggest Fan family. And today I was just called to bring more guest speakers in. And this weekend we just went with a viral post, and I have so many people to come and interview and just share their story, their empowerment, their healing, their self-love, and their purpose, the wealth. And it's so beautiful to bring amazing people in and to let the world know the story and how did they get here. And today I am so flattered to have with you Myola Woods and the Erotic Coach. And I'm so loving this conversation. So thank you. And I want to start by just asking you where you're from and an introduction of yourself.
Thank you, Angelica. And it's thrilled. I'm really excited to be here. I saw the post around self-love and women and wealth, and I thought, oh, that's right up my alley. That would be great to have a good conversation with you. If you haven't recognized the accent, I'm an Australian and I live about 3 hours north of the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge from Sydney. I live in a little beach town. I like to it's not and a really great place to come home and keep me grounded and uh keep me centered from the busyness of being. I travel quite a bit, so I liked it. It's nice to come home.
I love that. I love that. Traveling makes me happy as well. It's so amazing just to go out there and breathe different air.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah.
for sure. And a little bit about me, an introduction of me. I've been working in the space of women's, well, I guess women's well-being, women's health. I don't want to say nearly 30 years, but it's probably close to that now. Um, and I began because I was interested in my own self and how, I just didn't feel that women were getting the right information and we weren't connecting. And I was having trouble with myself. Um, I could have lots of pleasure on my own, but I was finding it difficult with a partner. So I knew that there was some sort of I was having some intimacy issues and having connection. And so I suppose that's where it started. Like that was where I started, where I was interested in spirituality and energy and how does this all work, and how does trauma fit into this? Like, and how can we heal? And kind of grew from there. And now I kind of really just specialize in intimacy and sensuality.
I love that. And I hear you're an award-winning, internationally recognized intimacy coach and author. Oh my gosh. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I have a book, it's an inside job, 12 seductive secrets to your arousal, where it has, both individual and couples, because I feel that our relationship begins with us. So our relationship of self-love and our erotic lives begins with us. So we have, exercises for individuals and then exercises for couples to do together as well when we have partners. And the book is very, it's a kind of a workbook. It's, having worked with people for a long time, it's the same sort of exercises and the same questions. I get asked a lot, so I put it into a book, so that I could. And and lucky enough, before COVID, I was doing sessions online all over the world and visiting places to do retreats and teach. So lucky enough. And then COVID, I was still able to very much continue working online. I think everyone. I don't know that I find many positive things about COVID, but one of them would be that we have certainly embraced the internet and embraced the ability to bring, someone from Florida and somewhere from rural Australia together to have this amazing conversation.
I love that. I love that. It's true, right? The sky's the limit. We actually, uh, I don't think there's no strings there that could actually not connect us. It's like so beautiful just to bring and open different opportunities for people to grow together. And why not? Because we have so many talented and gifted individuals in this world. And I love hearing the stories. Stories to me is so appreciated, and I celebrate them as well. I mean, I have my own story, but I love hearing the purpose and why. So that brings me to, what was your personal turning point that led you to begin your healing journey?
My personal healing um, was probably having my own babies. I knew theories around, how to birth and how to have that ecstatic birth and how to have, and I suppose I knew the theory of it, but having an experience of birth, I felt that there was there was more that could be done. There was more that I didn't know, and I felt like I had been in I felt I mean, I wasn't very young. I was young, but I felt like I had access to lots of things, and I still was. There was many things I didn't know, and so I started to work with women after my own journey. I think with birthing, I didn't have a terrible experience, and in fact, my births have been some of them have been quite ecstatic. I've had home births. I have had various midwives. I've been in different. I've had four different births, four different children, and that all of them mostly represent them. How they wanted to arrive into the world. But having had that, I really realized that when scar tissues or having tears or the pelvic floor and what it does before and after, and the expectations that they have. And I say they, who I mean by they is usually ourselves. We usually tell ourselves the story, but where it comes from the society that women are supposed to be these amazing, and we are amazing sexual objects, and we are amazing sexual beings for sure. But we are used to sell everything from ice cream to cars so it's this totally over sexualized part. And when it comes to birthing, this part of us that could be innate, we've lost something. I think we've lost something in the trust in our ability in our bodies to actually birth well. And so that was a real turning point for me when I thought I knew something, and I still hadn't found out I had plenty to learn. And then I wanted to share that with other people.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And when was it that you realized that your story had the most powerful impact on others?
Well, with me and others, I feel like I really didn't appreciate that, Angelica. I really didn't appreciate my story was going to change other people or other women. I think my senses, I started to be of service, and I wanted to change. The learning that I was valuable happened over time. And then the feedback of seeing people sometimes years later, or getting an email and them saying, this really helped me. And I think it's that I bring a real grounded, pragmatic, natural part. And there's an invitation. There's just an invitation for people to be as free as they can be. And so I think that journey took a little bit longer. I was just being me and just doing my what I considered to be service. Like, how can I share this in the world?
And I like that. And I love telling people it's okay to take your time, and whenever you're ready to serve, it's beautiful. And the more you serve, I think it makes me happy serving people and the community globally. I love that. So thank you for sharing that. How how do you feel self-love has transformed your relationship, your business, or your life?
Oh, I can probably tell you those three parts. My self-love for me allows me to be exactly who I am. Like, there's not I already said, I'm grounded, I'm pragmatic, and I care a lot. So I make sure that I bring that to me as well, because I could very easily, and I do. My family is very important to me. My friends are very important to me. My clients are very important to me, and I also really maintain a very of looking after me first and making sure that there's lots of self-love here before giving it to someone else. And part of that self-love is keeping, doing the practical things of having, having the nice baths and the showers and the massage, and also looking after my erotic life, looking after, pleasure in all its forms, and and really finding out what's valuable to me. That it translates to my business, because I'm teaching. That's what I teach a lot of, is that self-care and self-love, and how to connect. Often, one of the parts I practice is connecting my heart with my genitals, connecting my heart and my sexuality. So connecting that divine essence of who we are, like that divine spark of our, and if you want to call it, there's lots of names, but the kundalini, the chi, the prana, our life force, that's our spark that got us here. And then connecting that with our hearts, that unconditional connected part. That's, bringing those two parts together, merging them, so that we can have, behind our creations as well, having that love behind our creations, having that connection. That's how I, work in my business, is keeping that together. And life, like, I feel that when we love ourselves, or my experience is when I'm very connected to me, by nature, I'm connected to other people. When I'm loved, and when I feel loved by me and I can receive it from me, then I'm open to receiving it from other people. I see it like a figure eight, kind of flowing from me and into them, a figure eight backwards and forwards.
Oh, I love that. It's so beautiful how every woman can turn pain into pleasures of abundance. And it's beautiful to just experience that. And I thank you for that. And what tips maybe 3 tips that you could tell a woman that is actually wanting to connect more within herself?
Sure, 3 tips. Yeah, absolutely. So the first tip I usually give is for people to bring their awareness to their breath, bring their awareness to themselves. You're putting your hand on your heart,
Yeah.
putting your hand on your heart and breathing. If you wanted to, bring that down further into the body, you can hold your pelvis, hold your genitals. And just feeling like, what is it like to be in here? And then one's another, it's a tip number. So feeling the body, bringing the breath into the body. When we're connected to our pleasure. So we have, from this space of connecting in our hearts, we know nowadays that our happiness, our sadness, it's all in here. It's not anywhere else. So our pleasure is the same. Our pleasure is the same. Our pleasure is in here. So if we can find that in here, and sometimes, if we haven't connected with our pleasure very often, sometimes it's a little tiny, pinprick, but we can always find it, because everything's within. So, and once we bring it, and then if we find the pleasure, feel where is that in the body? Is that, inside our heart, inside our legs, inside our toe? And if you start to bring awareness to it, often it changes, often it grows. And we often, so then we are in the state of pleasure, then, not just something that we have with someone else. It's then something we have with ourselves. And so if your tip number 1 is connecting with the body, and tip number 2 is finding the pleasure, then number 3, noticing, your hair on your neck, or when you're washing up, the hot water, or in the shower, or the cold water. What's the sensations over your hands? Like, what do you notice? Your clothing, on your skin. What do you notice? I think the more we can bring into feeling that, so we're present, we're noticing what is happening to our bodies, what's happening to our sensuality, what is there. And the more we build that, it's a bit like a muscle. So the more that we feel it when we're doing mundane things like the washing up, or when we're walking and we feel the sun on our back, the more that leads to when we want to feel it, when we're doing more intimate things, that we've got that skills, we've got it built up. And so we can usually, that brings us the same skills to our, into our lovemaking, into our intimate life, that we're present, we're feeling pleasure, and we're breathing. Like that's, yeah.
Beautiful. And the more self-love and pleasure, the more magnetic you become. And isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh. Yes. So ladies, you're in for a treat. Amazing, amazing. Where can people connect with you?
People can connect with me on Facebook. I'm reasonably easy to find. Myola, the Erotic Coach, is on Insta, on Facebook. That's an easy way to find me.
Perfect, perfect. And do you have any offers, events, or anything that you want to share with the audience today?
I have an ebook that I can send to your readers, and it covers, it'll go a little bit more into depth into those tips. And it's, the 5 tips, the 5 ways of exquisite lovemaking. It gives, some details into how to make
Ooh.
exquisite lovemaking with a partner or with yourself.
Yeah, and it's beautiful when women start integrating those tips within themselves and try it on themselves. That way, when they go into either if they're in a relationship, they will feel that confidence, that love, that genuine pleasure to just be in there, to receive the love. And it's so beautiful. Thank you. So, whoever's watching, ladies, comment below and you could get your tips definitely. So, if you were to finish with a sentence of celebration, the world needs more of what?
The world needs more connected love.
I get goosebumps. I love it. Yes,
It's a
yes.
great question. It's a great question. I love
Yeah,
it.
lovely. Oh my gosh. Well, Mrs. Erotic Coach, I'm so flattered and so happy to have you here. For the ones that don't know me, I am Blangelica. I am founder of I Am My Biggest Fan Store, owner of Blangelica's Boutique, located in Arvindale and serving globally, just helping people embody the self-love and be the genuine person. Create the desired life because you can. If we can, you can. So thank you for being here. And I'm so proud of you. And thank you for having the opportunity just come into my safe space and talk about greatness. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. It's been very fun, very delicious.
Thank you.